Okay, so the second most common type of barrel repair is what we refer to as a cross-grain leak. And in this case, you are repairing a faulty vessel in the wood. We've got this cross-section of a barrel head to kind of illustrate what's happening. There's a vessel that's conducting, in this case, wine from the inside face of the stave or head to the outside. So the repair consists of creating a dam to block this faulty vessel. So you can see we find the leak more or less in the center of this head stave. And again, the first thing to do is to identify the source of the leak. So again, we'll dry it with our paper towel and we'll scrape it to watch the leak reappear. Now we can see the source of the leak. The first step in repairing a cross-grain leak is to identify the direction of the grain. And if you remember that barrel head I showed you, we need to find out where the grain is running off in relation to the head. So the way that we'll do that is by scraping the wood. If I scrape in one direction, the surface of the wood will stay smooth. And if I scrape in the other, it'll become rough. So we want to put the patch in the direction that the grain is running off. So in this case, if the source of the leak is approximately here, I'm going to have to put the patch up here because that's where I'll be creating the dam, because I know that from scraping, the grain is running in this direction. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is to make a slot or a divot using a cold chisel about 1/4 of an inch, again between about 5 millimeters and 1 centimeter away from the source of the leak. And I'm going to go again about that deep into the stave. So I've created a slot that's going to hold this wedge, which will create the dam effect that we want. It's important when you make this repair to check the width of the wedge in relation to the width of the cold chisel. The wedge should be a couple of millimeters wider than the chisel. If it's narrower than the chisel, you're not going to completely plug this divot that you've made. So we'll put it in. And again, we'll take our flat saw, trim the excess. Tapping it with the hammer will help the wedge completely fill the divot. And then again, you can finish the repair by sanding to conceal the patch and again to close up the pores of the wood.